right. Welcome to the Poultry Nutrition Blackbelt Podcast, where we'll bring you the latest poultry nutrition research digested for you in under 10 minutes. I'll be one of your co-hosts, Sam Rochell, along with Dr. Kelley Wamsley. Hello, Kelley.
Hey, Sam. Nice pun there. I like how you did that. I'm really excited about this podcast to see how we can kind of delve into the latest and greatest in all poultry nutrition. So I'm excited to be one of the hosts with you. And I thought maybe we can kind of get to know each other or get everybody else to know each other since we already know each other.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we've known each other for a while, but I think for the audience, it would be good to catch up. So where are you originally from and kind of how did you get to your current position? What is your current position and how did you get there?
Yeah, so, I'm originally from West Virginia, go Mountaineers, went to West Virginia University and came here to Mississippi State in the Department of Poultry Science in September 2012. I'm an associate professor, and I think like you, Sam, I've got a research and a teaching appointment. You want to give a little bit of background to everybody here?
Yeah, sure. So I'm actually an Alabama native. Just moved back to Alabama after being gone about 10 years. So I did my undergraduate and master's here at Auburn, War Eagle, and my PhD at University of Illinois, which was a great opportunity, a lot of history and animal nutrition there. Then I was on faculty at University of Arkansas in the Poultry Science Department for about 6.5 years. I loved it there. It was a great experience, but this was a great opportunity to get back, and we have some exciting things going on here. So I'm currently an associate professor of poultry nutrition with a 70% research and 30% teaching. So I think we're both here in the Southeast broiler belt, but I know the industries are a little bit different. What's the industry like in Mississippi?
Yeah, so we have a lot of broilers, like I think you in Alabama. And this is kind of embarrassing, but I don't remember the latest detail on, we've been 5th ranked in the country for broiler production. And I'm not sure, we may still be 5th, but we may have dropped to 6th. So you can correct me on that statistic, or I'll correct myself in a different episode. And then we're also home. So we have lots of integrators in broilers, but we're also, what's unique is that we have the number one egg company in the world, headquartered in Mississippi, which is Cal-Maine Foods. So we don't have a lot of egg production, but we do have a big company based here also. How about in Alabama?
Yeah, I mean, very similar. And I think we have some companies that are kind of on the line and in both states. So primarily broilers. We've kind of gone, historically between second and third in broiler production with Arkansas. As I mentioned previously at Arkansas, there was a big diversity there, a little less diversity in different types of poultry here. But it is neat that in both states I've been able to work in, have been home to the two largest primary breeding companies. And as you know, we have Avogen here in Alabama. So we get the opportunity to work closely with them, which is a lot of fun.
That is really cool. And, I know Arkansas has turkeys. I don't think Alabama has many turkeys.
Not much. Yep.
Mississippi doesn't have any turkeys. A lot of my PhD research was in turkeys, but heavy toms. I'm kind of glad to get away from the turkeys a little bit. I love them, but it's hard work. So,
yeah, that's right.
So do you want to, what if we say kind of how we got into academia and our positions a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, we probably had similar paths. I mean, I actually wanted to work in the poultry industry for a very long time. I mean, my first paying job as a teenager was working on a broiler farm. So I had exposure early on, and I actually wanted to, try to possibly have my own broiler farm, and came to Auburn in poultry science, and one thing led to another, and I ended up in graduate school. And I really thought I was gonna, even after completing my PhD, thought I would enter the industry. And as you become kind of the more senior person in the lab as a graduate student, and you get the opportunity to help the more junior students, I really like that. I think I kind of had the teaching bug a little bit too. Enjoy it. I have 3 generations. I guess I'm the 3rd generation teacher in my family. So that's been a big part of it as well. So I thought I'd give it a shot. There was a great opportunity at Arkansas, and figured I'd give it a shot. And it looks like I may never get out of academia now. So we'll see. How about you?
Yeah. So I only knew that I liked to eat chicken growing up. So, and ironically enough, y'all can look it up. I'm from Raleigh County, West Virginia. And if you really kind of use a little bit of artistic eyesight, the county that I'm from looks like a chicken. So really ironic that I wound up in poultry. But yeah, I just got involved in undergraduate research with Dr. Joe Moritz, and I fell in love. I thought I was going to go to vet school because that's what you do. But when you love animals, but I got involved in poultry nutrition, and I've just never looked back. And so it's been really, really exciting area. And so I know for me, I've had some, there's some papers that I can think of and some in some specific research areas that kind of inspired me to kind of go in that direction. So one that comes to mind for me is and it's not a peer-reviewed publication, although there are many that I really have in my list of ones that are must reads, but it's actually a really simple paper that was more of a just an extension article, and it's by Sheila Scheidler, she was at North Carolina State, and she's now at I think at Nebraska still. I don't think that she's retired yet, and she wrote a paper, and it's called "Pelleting is Important," and just really simple, but it talks about just analyzing feed from different feed lines, and then looking at segregation. And that was some of the work that I looked over a lot, and that inspired me in the research that I did as an undergraduate, then through my master's and PhD, and then still today. So what about you, Sam?
Yeah, that's neat. Certainly a lot of different people, I think, impacted me early on as a graduate student. I mean, I was lucky enough to take Dr. Ed Moran's class, GI Systems and Nutrient Utilization, the last time he taught it here at Auburn. And so if you're familiar with any of his work, he's a fantastic, engaging writer. He actually writes papers that are fun to read. I'd say early on, when I was in Illinois and started to get into the work that we do now around nutrition and health and nutrition coccidiosis, kind of understanding the nutrition, health, and immunology, reading a lot by Kirk Klasing, that had a big impact. And of course, if you're from Illinois as well, reading Dave Baker papers is it's kind of a requisite. But all of those, outside of the mentors I had, directly through my master's and PhD, all had big impacts on kind of how we try to approach problems. So, and you're lucky to have been able to work with Joe. Joe's another one too that, from afar, I've always watched and really like his approach to things.
Yeah, I agree. And I still talk to him, and we collaborate on a regular basis, and he's just a lot of fun to run ideas off of them and collaborate. And one of the thinking about just recent areas and hot topics, one that I think is just reoccurring, right, is about nutritional consequences of feed manufacture. I think that's kind of why I feel so lucky to have trained under him, is that kind of combines his traditional nutrition approach, and that he, obtained with Dr. Latshaw at Ohio State. And then he went into training at K-State with Dr. Scott Beyer in feed manufacture, broiler nutrition type area. And so kind of allowing those two areas to combine. And so I think that's one of the hot topics that's always going to be there, because we have new ingredients that come out, right? And then new technologies, new feed additives, enzymes. And so being able to kind of think not only about how, those new items interact within the bird and then improve broiler health, nutrition, but also thinking about what they do whenever they're interacting with other ingredients in the diet and being processed within feed. And so I think that's one of the hot topics, and it's just constantly evolving because there are new ingredients, new technologies that are coming about. What do you think? What's kind of one of the biggest hot topics that you think is coming out, and what's kind of changed since you've been in academia?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I'll agree with you. I think the feed manufacturer, even though it's not something that I've worked in, I think it's very interesting. We just had a group from Europe here, and with the energy crisis, they are brought on by all the issues. It's saving energy and understanding pelleting is really important. So I think that's going to continue to be a big one. I think this is the fun thing about nutrition is the conditions are changing all the time. Macroeconomics, you look at, things going on with soybean meal and renewable fuels right now. That's changing ingredient availability and kind of what we look at there. From the regulatory side, we continue to see changes there as well. So I think there are always new issues. We look at topics like wooden breast, that came on pretty quickly, seem to be probably less emphasized now, but that's still out there. So it's neat to see these things kind of come and never really totally go away, but new things are always emerging that make what was previously a critical issue maybe less critical. So I think that's the fun part of nutrition. I mean, personally, I've never really probably been a great specialist in any one discipline. Liked a lot of different things, so I think that's why nutrition is so fun, because it brings together, the biology and physiology, chemistry and biochemistry, along with the economic part as well. So it's a lot of fun when all these come together and you can try to find a solution that might make sense across all of those different fields.
Yeah, I agree. And it's really kind of neat that in our jobs, we can be in the classroom, then in the lab, then at the farm, in the feed mill.
That's right. Yep.
You just never know, right?
Yeah, exactly. You could be hosting a podcast one day and weighing chickens the next day, and on an international flight the following day. So every day is different. So
it's one of the big things that you're working on in your lab, or recently something, that you've been, I guess, either from Arkansas or at Auburn, or even in your graduate career, is there a project that comes to mind that you thought, man, I'm so proud of that. I feel like that is just some of my biggest contribution thus far, or something of that nature?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of always hard to value, but I think the thing that I like to think about the most and have worked on is the work that I started as a graduate student in Illinois. The nutrition by coccidiosis interaction. I've had a couple of graduate students since work on that from different angles, both from acute challenges to the cocci vaccine, which is so widely used now, and understanding how nutrition can play a role there. I think that's been a lot of fun, and it's opened some doors too for other great work from other labs. I think so. That's probably something that I'm most proud of on that line of work, and we've been able to publish some stuff in that. But we have a lot of good things going on right now. I mean, I have several graduate students working on a range of projects, from digestible phosphorus and calcium to
another hot topic.
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty, continue to work around amino acids and how that's influenced by stress and amino acid digestibility. So, a lot of good things. How about you? What are you probably most proud of, and what's that influenced what you're working on now?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I would have to go with what you said. The work that you get involved with early on, that you feel like, you pour your heart and soul into it. And the first project I ever did, we had to repeat it because it just didn't necessarily make sense. And right. I think that it was that part that kind of taught to me that's why they call it research, right? Right. So it was one of the first projects that we did on pellet quality, and kind of identifying what it means to have high pellet quality in modern broilers. But I remember even like following up with some of the turkey work, even calling you, Sam. I don't know if you remember this, but I called you whenever we were in grad school trying to get help on some SAS.
Yeah. I remember.
To help me on some, it was passage rate,
Yeah.
with
Yep.
looking at different manufacturing techniques of passage rate and then trying to relate to that to digestibility. But there were all these things that just kind of tied together. But definitely even just the students. I mean, I think that's why we're both kind of where we are. I mean, just the research we're super passionate about, but then just the students and being involved in their projects and also kind of seeing their, aha moments. And I think we have a lot of similar fields where we have applied, approaches to try to address today's nutrition problems in broilers. And so we've done a lot of gut health projects too, enzyme projects and amino acid, some requirements, and then working with some new strains of broilers and trying to figure out their requirements and amino acids and energy. And so it's just always like we're talking about hot topics and we're talking about things that we're proud of and how we've gone through, but they're kind of similar themes, but then new things that we learn along the way. And so that's it. That's another exciting thing to me that keeps, our field so interesting.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree on the student part too. I think, fortunately or unfortunately, we're getting far enough along in our careers where, you get to see some students really make an impact, former students in the industry, maybe get a second job or a promotion. And so it's a lot of fun to see that. Again, even though I can't believe it doesn't seem like that long ago, we were comparing notes in graduate school, but it flies by for sure. But yeah, I think, all this is exciting. And that's something that excites me about the podcast, the opportunity to learn some new stuff that maybe we're not, seeing in the literature yet or catching at the meeting, give people an opportunity to try to extend that to a wider audience, and then, just expand our networks and help other people do the same. So I guess that's the reason why I kind of am excited and agree to do this. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, the same reason, just, try something different. I mean,
Right.
mix it up a little bit because, obviously going to the lab, to the farm, feed mill, classroom, that's just getting really boring. So I need to add something else in there.
That's right.
Or on a flight somewhere, whatever, driving down a back road to a farm or a feed mill somewhere.
Yep.
No, I think it's exciting. It expands our network and we can reach other people. And I think it's neat that you can get to put a face to the name and be able to learn new exciting things in our field in poultry nutrition. So that's what I'm really excited about. And, one thing that's really cool, I think, also about our job is that we get to travel all over the world, but being in academia, it's when we kind of want to not necessarily. Yep. It's the balance, but also it's a little bit by choice to be able to meet with a lot of different people. So what's something, I guess, to be leaving people with before we kind of exit? What's something that you've been, or location that you've visited recently for work, and what are you most excited about coming up to?
Yeah, really since I've made the move, I haven't done much traveling since we've been here at Auburn, unfortunately. But I do have some exciting trips. I mean, of course, we have PSA in Philadelphia coming up the week after that.
Go.
Yeah, that's right. That's closer to home for you too, right?
Yeah, a little bit. We're going to be taking a road trip with some of my students, so stay tuned. That could get interesting.
Yeah. Good luck. We're taking a road trip to the airport, and then we're gonna get in.
You might be the smarter one.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, I do have a trip. I hope to get to go to Morocco later this year, so that should be a fun one.
That's really cool.
Yeah, just pretty busy trying to get the lab up and running here at Auburn. How about you? Do you have any big trips this year?
Yeah, well, I mean, like most of our friends are they're traveling to ESPN, and
That's
we
right.
weren't able to make that. Just a little bit of FOMO for that, but
Agree.
Next time we're going to be there, ESPN, the next time around. We're definitely, we're going,
sure.
Sam. Okay.
For sure.
We're going to record an episode there.
On site, on location. That'd be great.
That's right. Well, I got back from Cancun. I went to World Nutrition Forum, and was lucky enough, which you went to the previous time that they had, I think. So this was in Cancun, hosted by DSM. And then when you went, it was in South Africa, right?
Yeah. Cape Town.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, that's a great opportunity for us, as academics to go there and interact with just such a wide variety of people that we wouldn't necessarily be able to interact with and discuss science and kind of behind the research projects that we normally would be able to. So that was a really exciting meeting to go to.
Yeah. No, I'm jealous. I didn't get to make that one either, but I'm glad you did. That's awesome.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to Philadelphia and PSA there. And I know I've got a couple students giving presentations. Hopefully I don't look like too astray from long hours on the road with all of them. It'll be really interesting. How about you? Do you guys have some presentations also?
Yeah, we do. It's that time of year, right? Where, you're helping your own students and, we have departmental practices coming up. So,
oh yeah,
that's just part of the season of the summer.
That's right.
What we do, but looking forward to it. And I'm sure we'll get to catch up in person there. So anyway, any closing thoughts here on our first introductory episode to the Poultry Nutrition Blackbelt Podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say that I'm really excited to interact with people. And, this is a little bit longer of a podcast. Normally, we're going to make this, I think, less than 10 minutes. And it's going to be something that you can get in the car when you're running an errand and, go into the gas station to gas up your vehicle or go in to grab, something quick at the grocery store. And so we're looking to invite, the latest and greatest poultry nutritionists and get them to share some of the research and what they're working on. And we're really excited to be able to share this.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel the same. And, I think it's going to be a success. And I don't think it'll be long until we have more listenership than the Swine Nutrition Blackbelt Podcast, which is a personal goal for me. So we'll see.
We're going to kill it, man.
All right, Kelley. Well, it's great talking with you. And I look forward to, I don't know when we'll be on together again, but anyway, I look forward to your upcoming episodes. So can't wait.
Looking forward to meeting up soon. And maybe we're going to have to make this like once every, 2 months or 3 months or quarterly kind of thing. We can just do a couple minutes here and there. So
that's right. Compare notes.
That's right. Well, I wish you the best and good luck at PSA and looking forward to seeing you.
All right. You too. Thanks, Kelley.
And then looking forward to also being able to get to know all our listeners out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a good time. So thanks, Kelley. And we look forward to it.